In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Divi Builder number counter module. Put simply, the number counter is a fun way to display numbers. You pick a number, choose its size and color, and then as you scroll down the page, the number counts up from 0 to the number you defined. Here's some examples. You can also add a percentage sign, and like I said, change the colors to look good on your current section background image or color. So, for example, here I have a nice About Us page, and I would like to display some stats about our team. Perhaps, the amount of customers we have, the amount of employees we have, the amount of number of years we've been in business, that kind of stuff, just kind of general stats in a fun way that, show our potential customers that we're a legitimate business. So I'm going to edit this page. And down towards the bottom, I'm going to add a new section and add some number counters. So first up, add my section, and then choose how many columns you'd like to have. Typically, you probably want to put a number counter in each column on its own instead of placing multiple number counters in a single column, because the number counters will be stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to just do 3 1/3 columns. And I'm also going to adjust the background color of this section. I want to use a dark background color or image, so I can choose a nice background image here. Maybe something along the lines of, there we go. And then in each of these columns, we're going to add a number counter. So I'm going to click the Insert Modules button and look for the number counter module, which is right here. And once you click that, you'll be greeted with the number counter module settings. And as with any Divi Builder module, these settings are broken up into 3 categories: general settings, advanced design settings, and custom CSS. As a general rule of thumb, everything you need to create a wonderful page using the Divi Builder can be found inside the General Settings tab. But if you'd like even more control over the appearance of your module, then you could venture into the Advanced Design Settings tab, which gives you all kinds of options, such as font size, letter spacing, line height, choosing the font itself, spacing, all that kind of stuff. And finally, if you know CSS, if you're CSS savvy, well, you can jump into the Custom CSS tab and just apply CSS to the module yourself. Now, I have some great tutorials about how to use the advanced design settings and custom CSS, so be sure to check those out. But in this tutorial, I'm just going to focus on the general settings. So first up is the title, which will be displayed below the number in a smaller font. So, for example, I'm creating 3 numbers here, 3 stats, which I mentioned before: customer count, years in business, and our team member count. So let's say we have 2,500 customers. Customers. I'm just going to type in customers here. And then for the number, I'm going to type in 2,500. You can also choose to display a % sign or not. And since we're not dealing with percentages, this time I'm going to turn off the % sign. Here you can choose the counter text color, which is the color of the actual number itself. And so we're kind of working with a dark blue background image, and so I want to kind of maybe choose a complementary color such as green, maybe like a blue green, and make it rather light. So yeah, something like that was going to look great. Next up is the text color, which affects the title, not the number, which is that title we defined earlier, which in this case is customers. And since we're working with a dark background image, we want our text color to be light, so I'm going to switch that to light. But if you're working with a light background color, you'd want to choose dark for that text color to make sure it's readable. Finally, we have our admin label, CSS ID, and CSS class, which we won't be using in this tutorial. Now, if at any time you want to get a preview of your module, you can click the preview button down here to get a look at what you've created so far, and that will render the module inside of the current section. As you can see, we've added this background image to the section here, and you can also switch between our responsive design testing tabs to get a look at how your module responds to various screen sizes. So moving back here, I'm pretty happy with this number counter, so I'm going to save and exit. And then since I want to create 2 more, I'm just going to duplicate this twice to speed things up and move them over to their respective columns. And we're going to edit these and change the settings. So in this case, I want to do years in business, which would be, so I'll say years, and we'll say maybe we've been in business 25 years. I'm going to change the color to more of an orange. And we're going to save that. And for the final one, we want to do team members. So type in team members here. Let's say we have 16 team members. And again, I'm going to want to choose a new color. Maybe a pink or purple would look nice. Okay. And like I said before, you can get a preview of this by clicking the preview icon, and also test it out in different screen sizes. So this is looking pretty good. I'm going to save and exit and update the page, and we can take a look at that module on the front end. So viewing our page now and scrolling down to our number counter at the bottom, here we have the number counter, and it counts up to each of the 3 numbers we selected. Now, just to quickly touch on the advanced design settings, which I kind of skipped over earlier, you can also adjust the appearance of that module and each element inside the module. So, for example, if I wanted to adjust the font or font size, I could do that. So, for example, for the number font, maybe I want to make it bold, and maybe I want to make it smaller. I can scroll down to maybe 50 pixels instead of 72. And take a look at that. And as you can see, the number's gotten smaller. I've also made it bold and changed the font so it looks a lot different. And so you can completely customize all the elements of the module using those advanced design settings. And that is a basic overview of the Divi Builder number counter module.